So this is a final warning.
In front of a defiant crowd, a man with McGill University security demands protesters leave.
We will now consider other options to ensure that our instructions are followed, including seeking assistance from the police.
Those here, though, say they aren't going anywhere. Since Saturday, the campsite continues to grow. Almost 50 tents are staked to the front lawn of campus.
I think that McGill is not taking this as seriously as it should. McGill needs to understand that this is student tuition that is going into literal genocide, and that these students have a right to use their voice.
Staff and students are among those calling for McGill to divest from funds and companies with ties to Israel. That call continues to spread at campuses across the U.S. and in Canada, with a new encampment now at the University of British Columbia.
There are thousands of protesters across North America who are standing in solidarity.
McGill has denied requests for an interview, but in a statement says the encampment includes outside actors and will no longer be tolerated, after it says it saw evidence of anti-Semitism and intimidation from protesters, though it did not provide examples.
We reject any claims of this. We've seen no evidence of any of this. And we've made it very clear that this is an inclusive community.
But there are students at McGill who don't agree and told CBC News they're afraid of speaking out against the protest. Others come angry and vocal.
Shame on each one of you.
This man came out to call out the protesters.
They shouldn't be taking over McGill's territory and involving McGill's campus. They should be doing it peacefully on the streets and then go home and then do it again the next day. And they should probably try and force the Hamas to give themselves up. And that would be the end of it all.
So, Sarah, the protesters there clearly saying they're not going to budge, but I gather McGill may not give them a choice.
Yeah, CBC News has learned a provisional injunction request will be filed tomorrow on behalf of 2 McGill students asking that this encampment be removed. It names a number of defendants, including those taking part in this protest. It also names McGill as an interested party.
All right, Sarah Levitt and McGill in Montreal. Now, protesters at Columbia University in New York also say they are staying put, defying an ultimatum from the school to leave or face suspension.
Essentially, these are attempts to stifle the student movement.
We will not move until Columbia meets our demands or they are moved by force.
Supporters formed a ring around the encampment to protect it and waited out the 2 p.m. deadline. Protests continue at more than a dozen universities across the U.S. amid crackdowns that have led to more than 1,000 arrests.